Hey everyone, today I'm going to go over the new and extremely exciting news that we have for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak on both the Nintendo Switch and on PC via Steam. PlayStation and Xbox players and PC Windows players will have to wait a little bit longer until Sunbreak drops on those consoles. And that is because today we're going to be talking about the developers essentially teasing once again the 5th free title update, and pretty much almost out of nowhere very early on. Remember, the 4th free title update just dropped just yesterday. I covered, I believe, the very first event quest that we're getting for this update, and now the developers are starting to tease the next update. So this is pretty much a very quick turnaround. Do remember that the next patch will be dropping in April. We're going to be talking about all of the upcoming event quests. We're going to be talking about all of the new upcoming monsters, new weapon balance changes, and all of that in a set of upcoming videos where I'm going to be discussing everything that's been data mined so far. So do keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm very much trying to put together a couple of really worthwhile videos regarding that, since there is a lot to cover. And today what the developers are doing is pretty much teasing the very first free title update, 5th free title update, kind of like quality of life improvement, but more importantly, essentially a brand new set of options when it comes to melding. So originally the developers posted this in both the Japanese and the North American Twitter accounts, and the Japanese post reads pretty much the same as the North American one, so we're going to disregard that one. This time around they usually have a little bit of extra information on the Japanese one, but not this time. The English one simply reads, "Hey everyone, the development team is currently hard at work on the upcoming free title update number 5 starting next week. We'll begin revealing details on this update, so stay tuned for more information. Suzuki, director of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak." And they of course attach an image down below with of course that weird looking character paid DLC option that I've seen a lot of Japanese players decide to buy, but they're pretty much standing next to the market, pretty much next to the merchant. And here what we know is that they're trying to tease that there's going to be a brand new set of melding options. Well, how do we know that? Is it through the data mines? Not quite. We know that because of course in the patch notes, this is something that I went over about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago by now, in the original patch notes for version 14.00, this would be free title update number 4, there was a specific listing there that mentioned that there would be 2 brand new options for curious crafting melding. So pretty much brand new changes coming to the melding options, and 2 new options will become available there. And what they're teasing here is that they're pretty much standing next to Oboro, I believe that's his name, and they are teasing that yes indeed, new melding options will become available. Now the idea here is that melding still kind of like a little bit too RNG dependent, although you can certainly choose what skills you want to be able to craft. You don't have any real control on the slots that you're gonna get, or more importantly what the second skill is gonna be. And some suggestions have been levied regarding maybe what we're actually gonna end up getting is that yes, you can actually trade in more points, more materials for you to be able to go ahead and get a better talisman pre-seeded, so you no longer have to deal with the automatic seeding that is just kind of like RNG based, and that is going to go by the wayside with some of these new options. Of course, that still won't necessarily guarantee any god rolls, but you can get a little bit closer to that. Remember that the most recent Aurora melding options does have its very own table, and it has its own limitations. For example, I believe you can only get 3-1-1 talismans maxed out. So if you get like attack 3 and like critical draw 2, for example, you'll only be able to get a 3-1-1 slots. You're not going to be able to get that for 4-1-1 or 3-2-1 that you want, or that you would normally get if you get a perfect god roll when it comes to like, you know, reincarnation. You're not going to be able to have those odds. So presumably there's 2 new options are going to have their own tables with their own limitations when it comes to slots, or in fact they might actually end up giving you the option to have a 3-2-1 guaranteed, but you don't get to choose the skills. So eventually you'll be rolling for the skills, but you have the guaranteed 3-2-1, or 3-1-1 options. That is what some of the suggestions have been levied so far, at the very least for one. For the other one, we don't necessarily know. There has been suggestions regarding maybe the second skill will now be locked and the first one is like RNG. Maybe more people are kind of hoping for the second skill to be a little bit just as matching, like still a S tier or an A tier skill for the second one, so it's easier to roll for a or a S tier skill on the first one. If you know anything about the table already, you should know which skills are part of S and A tier, and that is something that we could be looking at for the future. But as of right now, that's not set in stone. I can't necessarily speak to that. I haven't seen it in the game's files just yet, but that is what the speculation is all about, and that is essentially what the developers are teasing here. The fact that they're standing in the picture, standing next to a Boro, suggests to me that yes, indeed, that error that they posted in the patch notes for the 4.3 title update, which was a bit of a surprise, I have to admit. I originally spoke about that when I was going over the patch notes in my patch notes video. I was surprised that I just saw that they were like adding 2 brand new options for melding, and I was concerned as to what they could possibly be. I had no idea. There was like no information in the game files heading into this patch to see what could possibly be the case, and then all of a sudden it just kind of appeared out of nowhere, and then they made a quick correction stating that yes, that was not meant to be part of the patch notes. This was going to be part of just the game later down the line. And in the Japanese post, I specifically covered in the video, in their Japanese post, they made mention that indeed it would be part of the next free title update. So the fact that they're now beginning to tease it pretty much early on suggests to me that they are gonna kind of like auto correct and pretty much guarantee that yes, indeed, melding options are coming. This is the very first part of the 5th free title update wave of updates that we are going to expect, and a lot of people are kind of like divided on this. A lot of people are hoping and expecting for a 6th free title update. That is still in the cards. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't expect that, but there are another group of people that I've seen already kind of like resignate, I guess would be the word, to kind of just the thought and idea that the next patch that we're going to get, the next major patch, will just be it. That would be the last set of changes. Anomaly investigation quest level goes to 300. We cap out there, and we pretty much end with a couple of quality of life improvements as they are moving over to September and the potential reveal of Monster Hunter 6, the brand new generation, of course, Monster Hunter Paradise, the way that I like to call it, and make that its very own thing. That is what a lot of people are kind of starting to expect, but at the same time, there's still those holdouts. I myself was expecting that to happen, but in my next video, I'm going to explain why that's probably not going to be the case anymore. I don't want to be the one to bring down the excitement regarding the 6th free title update, but it's starting to seem a bit less unlikely based on the fact that some new information has kind of appeared on this patch that might be suggesting that might no longer be the case. But we'll leave that for tomorrow, and if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!